Oh my goodness. How are you? It has been, oh my gosh, a couple months. Wow, it's been a couple months since I have been on. And I want to say, hi, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a really interesting time, hasn't it? And I wanted to share a little bit about what has happened in my world, and maybe it can be helpful to you too. After COVID, I kind of went in and kind of dug in and just was like, I just really want to be in there and serve and be there as much as I can be and be as helpful as I possibly can be, right? And so I went on every day and tried to provide some service, try to be helpful on a daily basis. And this is after months and months of kind of doing a lot of work and I was already tired. I'd come back from vacation and then COVID hit and it was just like, all right, here we go. And I literally just crashed out. I crashed. Um, I didn't like anything about my work anymore. I didn't have any energy. I was exhausted and I couldn't believe it. It was just one of those ones where you just hit yourself in the head and you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I allowed myself to to get into this place. So I did. I overworked, I got exhausted, and I burned completely out. I went against everything, that I teach. And I wanted to be really honest about that. Now that I feel like I'm filled back up again. I took some time away um, and I wanted to tell you a few things that I learned, and maybe they'll be helpful to you. Work is work. And for me, the line gets a little blurry, and maybe it does for you too, because I love my work and I love helping people and I love being of service. That's really, really important to me. And also, sometimes the lines get blurred in there, and it's important for me to know that work is work and to create some boundaries. And so the first thing I learned was that it's important to recognize that even though it's work and that it's important to you and important to your people and important to the world, that it's also work and that you need to be able to shut it down, shut it off. And the next thing I learned was that work shouldn't come at the expense of myself, my well, and I need to be able to serve from a full well. And so I need to be able to share and give and serve, not at the expense of myself, but in addition to myself at the top of the well. And so I need to pay attention as we talk about every time we talk about self-care, I talk about, that filling your well up and being able to share from that place. And I did it to myself. I just dug and dug and dug until there was nothing else. I was completely bottomed out. So doesn't have to be at the expense of yourself. Shouldn't be at the expense of yourself. And finally, if I didn't learn, I really am a huge proponent of whatever self-care looks like for you. And that is the only thing that pulled me kind of out was taking really, really loving, generous care of myself so that I could come back and be helpful. So those are the three things that I really want you to walk away with. And also that this thing about overwork, I don't think I'm the only one. I think that we're wired in this society to work really hard. And I have some questions around that I haven't answered yet. If you have any thoughts on that, I would love to hear them. But I don't think that's how we're supposed to operate. I'm still kind of unpacking that. And if I come with any realizations, I'll bring them forward. But mostly what I wanted to say was I'm delighted to be back. I am excited to offer help and service, and to help in any way to help you feel good and right. And I wanted to say hi because it's been a minute since I've been on. Have a great day, and I will tell you more about what's coming soon. See ya.